What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the BS Show. Once again, we got some fighters calling out Conor McGregor. I mean, at this point, who's not calling out Conor McGregor? I guess I should make a video on that. But Anderson Silva posted this very picture on his Instagram calling out Conor McGregor. And it seems like Conor McGregor has accepted the challenge. There is no official news yet from Dana White. And I believe Dana White did an interview today that said that him and Conor have not been talking at all. So I don't know if this is just a hearsay fight, if this is just a fight that people want to see or what. But I just wanted to talk about this fight because I'm seeing all over social media everybody saying, don't buy this fight. Conor McGregor knocks out Anderson Silva in 30 seconds. Don't waste your money. It's going to be a blowout because McGregor's going to KO him. And I'm just kind of blown away by people to even think that thought. Yes, Conor McGregor has had some very fast knockouts. Jose Aldo, Donald Cerrone. This isn't a bash on Conor McGregor video, but where do people get off on the idea that Conor McGregor is going to move up to middleweight, which is at 185 pounds, which he's never fought at before? The heaviest weight Conor McGregor has ever fought at was 170 pounds. So now he's going to move up to 15 pounds heavier to 185 pounds, and he's going to fight Anderson Silva, who a lot of people have considered him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He was the reigning middleweight champion for, I believe, 8 to 10 years, if my math is right. 6, 8, 10 years, somewhere around there. And where this idea that McGregor can just move up to any weight that he chooses and just knock people out with one shot, I don't understand it. I just don't understand where this is coming from. Anderson Silva, like I said, who most people consider the GOAT. I mean, you can make an argument for other fighters, but a lot of people would say when he was at his best, when he was running through the middleweight division, he was considered the GOAT. He's been the champion at middleweight. He also fought at light heavyweight, which is 205, which is the DCs of the world, the John Joneses of the world. So Anderson Silva is not a small guy. He's 34-10. He's been in the UFC forever. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. He's got some of the best striking we've ever seen. He's got some of the best knockouts in UFC history. He is a highlight film. Now, what I will say is he is older. He is on the back nine, and most would say maybe he should think about hanging him up. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that at all. But this idea that Conor McGregor is just going to bum rush this guy and knock him out with a shot and the fight's going to last less than 30 seconds, that's not going to happen. I would almost be willing to bet $1 million, which I do not have, that would not happen. The first thing I want to point out is the size discrepancy. Like I stated earlier, he's moving up. One would assume he would move up to the middleweight division. I don't see Anderson Silva being able to cut down any farther than the middleweight division, especially, number one, at this age, unless the UFC is willing to offer him a truckload of money to make it worth the weight cut, which I don't see happening. So this fight's going to be at 185 pounds. Conor McGregor is a natural 170er. Everybody has already said when he fought Nate Diaz, he barely cut any weight to get to 170. So let's just say for round numbers, he's about 170 at his heaviest. Anderson Silva probably weighs 210 to 220, if not more, whenever he's walking around. So Anderson Silva's much bigger at 185 pounds. He's also 6'2". Conor McGregor's 5'9". And Anderson Silva also would have a 3.5-inch reach advantage by 77.5 inches for Silva and 74 inches for Conor McGregor. So everywhere you look, Silva's bigger, he's longer, he's taller, one would assume he's stronger, and he's got some of the best counter-striking in the business. So Conor McGregor is going to push the pace like he does in the first round, which is where he does get a lot of his knockouts. And he's going to push the pace. And guess what? Anderson Silva is going to stand there, and he's going to pick his shots, and he's going to have a field day. I'm not saying he's going to knock him out immediately. I'm not saying that the fight might not go 2 or 3 rounds, but I'm just simply trying to say this idea that people think that Conor McGregor is going to walk in and knock out Anderson Silva is not going to happen. So here's my last pieces of evidence that Conor McGregor is not just going to steamroll Anderson Silva. I'm going to give you his last 5 opponents. And if you look at his record, he has dropped quite a few fights in his last, 8 to 10 fights. And there's reasons behind that. Age, when he broke his leg against Weidman, then he came back. He had a no contest against Nick Diaz. But let's just say as he's been pretty active over the last 4 years. These are his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. So his most recent loss comes to Jared Cannonier. He lost via TKO by a leg kick. And Jared Cannonier used to fight at light heavyweight, and he actually was on the push for a title shot. Before that, he went to a decision loss to Israel Adesanya, our current middleweight champion, who has been rolling through everybody. Prior to that, he beat Derek Brunson, who is a great wrestler, who has been in the UFC for years, who is a very formidable opponent. Prior to that, he stepped in on late notice and fought Daniel Cormier in the light heavyweight division, and he lost via decision. And prior to that, he lost a razor sharp decision to Michael Bisping in England, which a lot of people said that Anderson Silva won. And, he just lost a close decision. And Michael Bisping was our former middleweight champion. So this idea that Anderson Silva has just rolled off the couch and he's going to walk into the octagon and Conor McGregor is going to steamroll him is honestly just ridiculous and a little bit disrespectful to Anderson Silva. I understand father time catches up to everybody, and I understand Silva's probably past his prime, but I would be willing to bet you that if Conor McGregor moves up to the middleweight division, Anderson Silva wins that fight. I would be willing to bet somebody $100 Anderson Silva wins that fight because he's active. He's always training. There's really nowhere that you look at Conor McGregor and say he's better than Anderson Silva. He doesn't have better wrestling. He doesn't have better jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have better striking. The only thing Conor McGregor has on his side is youth. He'll be smaller. He won't be as tall. He won't be as long. He won't be as elusive. Anderson Silva, it's not like he looks bad. It's not like Anderson Silva fell off a cliff and he's losing to no-namers. He's fighting top 10 guys every single fight. These last 5 opponents that I just named are perennial contenders. 1, 2, 3 of them are champions or were champions, and 2 of them had an opportunity to fight for a title. So let's get this idea out of our head that it's a rollover fight. That's if it even happens, though. This is all a hypothetical conversation. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this fight. What do you think would happen? Do you think like me and think that Conor McGregor would not steamroll him and Anderson Silva would win? Or do you follow 99% of the fanboys out there who only watch Conor McGregor and that's it, and they just think that he's going to one-hitter quitter him? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for tuning in.